Player of the year. Drives. Jump stop. Oh my goodness. The edge. Lewis bleeding in with the left hand. Nice steal here. Lewis wisely. You can't relax. A dish ahead to Lewis. R.J. Lewis says.
The free throw. Edge comb downhill. Coast to coast. Rejected.
They do. Lewis stumped him.
Here comes Lewis.
Got to attack. Lewis to Ejiofor. That was to the rim. Lewis the crank.
Lewis down the baseline.
St. John's runs. Big things happen.
Oh, he dribbled right into the double team. Here's Lewis. Hammer time.
By Butler. Numbers the other way. Lewis the jam. The other way. Lewis in Wiltshire. Lewis with the hammer.
Baseline. Nice look. Sweet. Low.
St. John's not one there. Here comes Lewis. Hello.
And there's a 3 turnovers between the two teams. 10 for St. John's, 7 for Rutgers. Oh! With a hand on the ball, a little deflection. Lewis and 1 out in the corner. Cannot drop for Scott.
Oh! Nowadays, it's hard to believe he won't be right in the mix of things.
Great ball pressure right there by Lewis, forcing the turnover.
Returning for the Johnnies, Kadari Richmond, the prized acquisition in the transfer portal. It's Lewis lining up a 3, and the guy's in the sky. And he'll spin out of it with a fresh 20. Lewis, a 3. Got it.
Well, he looks to put together a couple possessions together.
Johnson rejected by Lewis. Loose offense than what we saw a year ago. Lewis creating.
I'm not sure if I said nylon because Coach Wright wasn't a big celebrate yourself guy, but I will show some love to my teammates. Killing them right now.
Dunlap off the dribble. Offensive rebound. Richmond plus the fouls. Lewis for St. John's. It's been his night. R.J. Lewis. Oh, man.
Gets off in the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game to see if they can find the chemistry, because New Mexico will throw some defense at you.
R.J. Lewis to the rim. He's led the Reds. Didn't have one the last game. Dish downstairs to Prey from Lewis. R.J. Lewis gives St. John's on the inbounds. Lewis and 1. Wife Joanne seated behind her son because she said, he's my blood. Rick goes, shows you we're kicking it to the same level. And he is. Richmond to Lewis.
That's goaltending if it didn't go.
And they have one more left to give.
Yeah, and just too many opportunities they'll have.
Lewis all the way.
And see, that's part of it.
Nolan has been a driving force in this comeback attempt, and Lewis shows his length. This long, and Lewis with the board now trying to run. To Richmond, look out! Richmond with hammer forward to Ejiofor. Lewis on the back down, got his man in the air.
Well, it was the position. Oh, that was almost a Rick Pitino just then.
Lewis with 6, disjointed here again. Lewis with 4, they brought a double, and he just muscled his way.
Johnnies have the first 5, and the lob is taken away by Luis. St. John's on the move again. Points off turnovers for Baylor. Had 46 of those against Billy Gillespie.
So it's not that it's all the way to the rim to give you some help or getting a block.
Lewis cashes in.
For 2 feet, gather your balance and go strong. Make the official call the foul if there is contact.
Here comes Zuby with another.
So that is, you can be a great shooter, but if you don't get any open shots, it's hard to make them.
Lewis with a hand in his spinach to the opening 20. Right. Puts it behind his back, falling away off the side of the glass. Now you're going to have to find a way to get more and more seats in here every year, it appears.
Certainly. We're talking now with Bama.
Clinic on how to shoot a free throw. Edge comb downhill and a clean block. Baylor has been dominant on the offensive glass tonight. Corner tray.
If you're on the St. John's team.
Already the second swat for Ejiofor. Here comes Lewis with a takeaway for Saunders. Coast to coast, rejected by
You respond though after those heartbreak losses to see show your character and what you.
Wiltshire watched by Murray. Now to Lewis for three. It's good. Skips it into Murray. He's stripped. Another transition chance. Scott, alley-oop. Lewis.
And try to get him in those situations. If you're not sure.
In the points, rebounding, assist categories. Lewis, free throw line jumper on target. In the theme of this opening half. Scott for three. I like it. Raise some NIL money.
Yeah.
McNeely tried to bounce it into Buchanan. Saunders into double figures with 11. Lewis down the baseline.
Who's only 3 of 12 from behind the three-point line all year. So that one.
Really impressed with Georgia, and actually you've kind of changed your expectations for this Georgia team. You think they're even better than you thought they were coming in.
John's top 25. Here we go.
John Knees. Here they come.
Here we go.
And that's neither team in the bonus just yet. And another turnover. That's number 17. And Lewis this time uses glass, lays it in on either side.
The ball, your top scorer.
Lewis got it.
Wow. Richmond had 18 the other day against Marquette.
And there's Lewis for the tie.
There come the Red Storm. Louise with the kick. The three for Wiltshire is good. St. John's with the rebound. They got numbers. Down low, it's Lewis with the flush. The matchups, the threes are going to be vital for the Crimson to stay in it.
Oh, there's no doubt. And Frank Martin is one of the absolute.
Knocked away. Lewis with the steal from the blind side. Right to the basket. And they're caught up. It's 1 point due to those injuries. As Lewis fades away, and that's for St. John's. Lewis contested. Nails it for three.
Nice three. Keep getting good looks and don't give up a layup like that.
Out of the timeout. Lewis. Way short.
Yeah, he fell back. He's not ready to shoot the ball. His shoulders go back.
Oh, what a save. And Lewis with the...
When you start these games, you understand you're meeting a team with length, with Kansas State, and you're not going to see a lot of.
Here comes Davon Smith. Down inside. Good pass. And finishing it.
Starts at 6'10". He's got to do some work, and it can't be just on the perimeter.
Nice dish and a flush. Hawkins trying to stop, but he did not, because Tang was saying, bring the ball over here and call a timeout. Hawkins had other ideas. Lewis has some ideas. Double-double already for Ejiofor with that rebound.
Hey, that's where I think you really needed the timeout.
Scott. Oh, boy.
33% from long range in the season, but the last 3 games coming in, 22%. How about they'll go?
Stop them. See, they're walling off Bedard Richmond, not allowing them to get to the rim.
Got to the rim now. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's so cool, and you sit here and you labor, just giving them a
extra pass. Smith and alley there. He'll kick. Patience here for the Red Storm, and
what other guys have. It's just ball watching.
Withers with a great look and a better defensive play.
About a letdown after that great win against K-State.
Lewis.
Got to get him going.
Pin zone. Good defense by Scott. Forced him into a bad pass. Lewis the other way.
Gonna finish that all day long, and there he is with the jam sandwich.
Lewis. Nice look.
Ball's made 4 in a row. Lewis, tough bucket. Here tonight, another turnover. Here's Lewis, coast to coast. Lewis, long stride for 2. Smith, looking to run. Leave it. Oh, no look to Lewis.
Haven't had yet tonight.
Remarkably, the first field goal of the game there for Meyer. Lewis got caught up. Iwuchukwu did not. Rocks the roll. I'd take the second Providence with a win against Wichita State this weekend. But Lewis has come alive.
And that's DePaul basketball. They spread you out. It was really one of the first possessions we've seen them do it all game.
Loose ball. Recovered by Lewis. It's going up. You know it's going up with him.
That's how you slow him down on this end of the floor.
Beautiful pass. Off the dribble penetration. Nice East Conference. Richmond giving it up. Here's Lewis. Looking to run that curl. There's that block out there trying to keep him out of the paint, but he's just on. Lewis with the follow. open floor. Great work by Lewis again. He's turned it over. Shot clock at 5. There's a steal. Richmond, Lewis, rising and one.
Pretty well, but when they get in the paint, they have a good chance of finishing. Good defense here by R.J. Lewis with the steal. St. John's getting everything they want.
R.J. Lewis cleared for takeoff.
Just look like, and got a chance to meet Martin on the visit.
Lewis hits.
He's a senior, so he knows what is expected of him. He doesn't want to let down his coach or his teammates.
Lewis.
Without the ball, they're looking for him, and he has got a quick release. Good interior passing there.
A dish ahead to Lewis. R.J. Lewis says.
Every night. Delaware is shooting over 40% from 3.
And that's been their strong suit as Lewis. And Creighton turns it over again. And when St. John's runs, big things happen.
R.J. Lewis on him. You have to take advantage of it.
They do. Lewis stumped him. Wow. St. John's just 2 of 8 from downtown. Lewis off one dribble. McDermott. R.J. Lewis answers.
They try and get an offensive board.
Lewis drives with the left hand. R.J. Lewis, how did he get that to go? Timeout, St. John's.
Iteration at Butler. Too easy on the inbound. Butler's been just miserable from the field. 1 for 15. Now the turnover. Carefully probing. Looking for a cutter. Oh, the touch is Lewis. Blow by Brooks and gets it to go. Oh, he dribbled right into the double team. Here's Lewis. Hammer time. Hand it over. 3-on-2. They got numbers here. Avion Smith. Trailer. Lewis. And a couple times today. Brooks foul his first. Brooks in traffic. Make that Lewis in traffic. 5 to play. Regulation. Oh, look at that one.
Down low, edge of 4. Oh, there for the tip in, the follow good. Numbers for St. John's. Wiltshire hands it off to Lewis. Lewis with the right hand, that's good.
Good call by the official.
Lewis got free from the baseline, his jumpers.
% from the 3-point line.
12th in the country. Lewis falls away, knocks down the jumper, and does the... Lewis backing down, Lewis inside.
Oh, he dribbled right into the double team. Here's Lewis. Hammer times.
Lewis around the edge. Lewis bleeding in with the left hand. Fancy.
And that's where they're so good. Should Xavier lose this game, there's going to be 2 things they look back on.
Uh-oh, Scott jams it home.
It'll be Richmond to inbound. R.J. Lewis off the screen. And the Red Storm. Way to say my fault. Edge of 4 to Lewis. Tied. And Richmond locates Lewis down low. Lewis off glass for 2. Penetration. 6 to shoot. Lewis from the free throw line. Knocks it down. And a big shot for St. John. Lewis trying to answer. Yes! Inside 6 minutes to go. Lewis for 3. It's good!
In the corner, Lewis. He's been quiet, not anymore. Just a gut feel. Lewis with authority and out of his seat. Lewis off the window. 5 on the timer. Matt with 4. Malik Matt rejected.
Work done early. Make them uncomfortable, and they just, right now, Georgetown's just too comfortable.
Lewis hits.
Another steal and finish for Micah Peavy.
Lewis downstairs to edge of 4. Who finishes?
Full rebound by Scott.
Lewis glides in. R.J. Lewis.
Don't need a foul here. You've gotten to this point, no silly fouls.
Lewis. R.J. Lewis with 10. Got to hurry. Peavy attacks. Lewis with the rejection.
Get that first hoop to go down. The fans still standing, 2.5 minutes deep. Lewis with a nice adjustment. RJ with a payday. That's true, no doubt. But he's the guy that turned the 3 ball into something popular 2 minutes ago. There's the steal by Lewis.
right over Coleman and slams it.
And I'm sure social media exasperates it. 2-on-1 here, lob coming.
Smith, right back to RJ. Lewis pumps for three.
Points.
And there's another example of what can happen. Lewis, little.
Now to cement ourselves as one of the NCAA tournament teams. Give him go
a whole bunch of times.
And he's brave. He's tough. Fortune favors the brave, Dave. We know that. And if it comes from your point guard first, easy to follow.
Finally a bucket. Pushing that 5-second count. Lewis determined, and he gets the number. Lewis, much better second half. Scoreless first half. Leading scorer, third leading scorer, and the conference on 61-60. And a steal and a putback by Lewis.
A lot of basketball, in his day.
Ejiofor with authority. But that's what he's been the last couple of weeks. They've gotten into the lab. Lewis. R.J. Lewis is a tough shot maker. Slow to get up. Up ahead to Lewis with one hand. Point as we get to 5 on the shot clock, taken away by Lewis. Whoa, behind the back for Lewis. For Ejiofor.
The size on the floor right now for them. I mean, this is
today. 1 possession, 1 turnover for the Friars. R.J. Lewis for 3. Back out to Smith. Lewis all alone for 3. In transition. Lewis left alone for 3. This one is great job by Ejiofor staying on Pierre. Lewis for 2 more. For Abdur Rahim. Lewis, a 2. 3.5 to go. Lewis, tough. Step back is good. On its feet. 40 seconds to go. Lewis, a jumper. Good!
Nice steal here. Lewis wisely. You can't relax.
8 offensive rebounds for St. John's.
Nice pass.
Back cut Richmond for 2.
And Lewis does it.
Lewis on the gas pedal right down the sideline. He had that the whole way. But here they don't.
And you're ridiculed.
Okay.
Nice cut. And again, they didn't face us. Tells you the quality of players they have and the skill on the bench as well.
Lewis just tunneled in.
Should have known better. Lewis zone again.
Lewis. First 3 tonight. You know Al's watching it somewhere from above and muttering something at you. That's a nice
Because he wasn't playing well.
Yeah.
Just a little raggy with his talent.
Well, Lewis has got Ross down the lane. Oh, pancake! That's the 5th foul on Marquette already in the second half, by the way.
Nice dive.
Ejiofor 2 and a foul. Didn't get it. Great box out by Scott.
Numbers. Ready.
Ejiofor for Lewis.
But now you just catch and shoot.
St. John's 0 for their last 7, and R.J. Lewis. R.J. Lewis, a 16-footer. Got it. Rattled.
Ball offensively.
Inside, nice catch. R.J. Lewis muscles his way up and in. Baseline, R.J. Lewis. And he rattles in another. R.J. Lewis trying to get to his sweet spot. Inside, pull up. Got it. Here's Elamine. That's what they need right now. Lewis. Bang. Lewis. Down the lane. Hard dribble. Stop and start. Ducks in. Off the window. With it. 3 seconds on the shot clock. They find Lewis. Baseline. Jay. Yeah!
Now they lock low Ejiofor. Nice pass and a back cut.
And there's the attack over on the inbounds to Wilshire.
They're so dangerous and ready.
Lewis.
This is a timeout.
How about that?
Not at all.
In just 5 attempts. He got there 20 times in the first meeting. Oh, here he goes. R.J. Lewis. Long. Richmond tapped it to Lewis.
How about that play?
The Johnnies never stop.
Look at this.
Look what Lewis found. Hammer time.
They play for the lob and the step out.
They got it to Lewis.
Well done. Boy, they
My experience as a player in college and the NBA, this building, when you're not shooting great, you come here.
It's fascinating. Creighton is 4th in the country in defensive rebounds. St. John's in 7th in offensive spot for the freshman Ty Davis. R.J. Lewis on top of the key triple. With 10 on the shot clock, it's Lewis. Lewis elbow.
bucket. That lift.
He tapped it out to Wilcher. Kalkbrenner just got up to go to the table.
Got to attack.
Lewis to Edgefor. That was pretty. R.J. Lewis, Euro, pretty.
John starting 0 for 3. Smith turns the corner, cross court. Baseline, R.J. Lewis. But this time, sometimes when he's not. McNeely off the box. 8 to shoot. Leans in. Off balance. No good. Smith wraps it around. Lewis high. Arcing jump shot. Goes home. Good line to Smith. Shot clock at 14. Baseline. Lewis. McNeely. Caravan. McNeely looks inside and just throws it away. Richmond, the reigning Big East Player of the Week, and another turnover by Butler. Numbers the other way. Lewis, the jam! Here comes the double. Edgefor sends it out. Lewis, a 3. It's good. 2 guys converged on that pass. Lewis cutting, scoop shot, yes. Lewis for 3. It's good. Forcing St. John's to play half court. Lewis trying to put St. John's back in front of the rim. Richmond races up ahead. Taps it for Lewis for the jam.
They got to maintain balance. Don't foul. Nice back cut. So well screwed defensively. Looking for an opening. They're running one hand. That shot. That's not his game. One dribble and a J. Look at Lewis. Oh, no. They jumped the passing lane. Lewis, look out. Lewis, they're to it. ISO right here. Lewis has a bounce to his game. The nice and notice how they lock on to a nice drive. Block. Richmond backdoor. Smith extra. Lewis has got him. A 3. Richmond shake and bake. Pull up. Slam down. Elite Bay. Knock away by Edgefor. Give it back. 3-on-1 developing. Love it. Layup goes. Little bump. He gives it away. Lewis on a race to the rim. Lewis, no.
And the other way, R.J. Lewis. Well, right on. Another 3 and foul.
He's turned it around after the break.
Lewis, all of a sudden. Good cut by Lewis, and what a reverse.
Rim here. Put the onus on the defense.
Lewis inside, yes! Today, or really on the season, gives it up to Lewis.
Lewis is going to drive this. He's going to take Cam Jones.
Mike pulls, and he drops it. And that sets the...
They leave the open man. It is Lewis in the corner. For 3. Lewis will tee it up and knocks it down. His second 3 of this first half. Chukwu, physical. Oh, the follow! Lewis!
Great recognition by Simeon, though, to put that ball down and blow by.
Nice anticipation. Lewis, post on the screen. It's Telfort working on Chukwu. Oh, Lewis! Lewis, back down, spin. Telfort's been playing with 3 fouls, and Lewis sneaks it in. And you have to basically start your team over every year. That's how it goes with international basketball as Lewis.
Player of the year in the Big East. From Miami, Florida. Drives, gets there. Explode on the baseline. Cut off. Double team. And turns it over. R.J. Lewis, and he in, boy. Baseline. Nice look. R.J. Lewis has been quiet offensively as of late. Gets to the hole. In attack mode. Spinning. Nice look to Edgefor in an easy. Backdoor Lewis. Bang.
Whether that was offensive rebounds, cutting to the basket, or post-ups.
Backdoor Edgefor. Player of the year. Drives. Jump stop. Oh my goodness. Nice. Lewis. Looking for a shot. Dancing. Fading. Richmond, he's got Sweet Lou trailing. Double pump, counted. Andrew. R.J. Lewis. Inside, up and in. 38-35. Baseline. R.J. Lewis Jr. Lewis sets for 3 and rattles it in. Davon Smith.
shooting pocket, so he came off, sized it up, let it go, splash three.
R.J. Lewis, and answered.
It was just a tie score.
And a steal. Lewis gets it. Swing Lewis.
Big East. And
here's R.J. Lewis. Hezzy to the cup. Pump fake. Fakes it down. Swings. They're not a very good shooting team as Lewis hits a three. A big Omaha's 3 of 14. St. John's is 2 for 9. Make it 3 for 10. Was to match St. John's' physicality. And they've done that so far. But R.J. Lewis is pretty good at halftime if I had to guess. Lewis a three. And a good start to the second. Scott tracks down the rebound. 2-on-1 the other way. Lewis in Wiltshire. Lewis with the hammer. Lewis for three. That's pure. I'll tell you what. Lewis from the outside. It's good again. Lewis in the paint. Off glass for two. You've heard us talking a lot about missed layups for St. John's. Not one there. Here